Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another JazzInc 1/6 scale vehicle review. Today, we're taking a look at my favourite live-action Batmobile. It's, of course, Michael Keaton's car, based off its appearance in the Tim Burton-directed film Batman 1989. Now, I want to say a massive thank you before we get stuck in to Yost, Hans, and the rest of the team for trusting me to review this piece so early. It's currently sold out at the time of filming this video, but if you want one, I highly suggest getting on the wait list because you never know, there might be a cancellation and you might be able to snag yourself one. I've popped a link to JazzInc's website in the description below. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as a brand new JazzInc vehicle review goes live on the channel. Now, before this thing arrived, Yost messaged me and he said, "Now Justin, this thing is like my Mona Lisa. It's the best thing we've ever made, hands down, the most detailed, most diecast content, the best painted." And I was like, dude, come on, all of your stuff is fantastic, seriously. But now that I have it in hand, yeah, Yost was right. This thing is gorgeous from every angle. I just didn't want to stop shooting it. This thing is a beast. It's longer than the Hot Toys one, it's bigger than it, and it's way more movie accurate. There are a couple of hidden little tubes and pipes and details that just aren't present on the Hot Toys piece. They did their research and they nailed it with this 1989 Batmobile. Even the paint, it looks simple, right? It's just a satin black finish. But no, it's more than that. You'll see what I mean when you get yours in hand. There's a subtle green tint to it that only really shows up at certain angles under certain lighting conditions, and that is movie accurate. If the car looks overly shiny in the video, I apologize for that. It's not. It's a proper satin finish. It's just my lights bouncing off the surface. This is actually really cool. I'm geeking out over this. They told me they were doing a hardcover book and they asked me to write a quote to include inside of it. I did, of course, but I didn't expect to receive a full page spread like this. So thank you once again to the team. I know I'm gushing, but I've never been featured in a book before, so it's an absolute honor to be a part of this project. When you get your book, just flick through it, read all of the in-depth research that they did. We've got CAD drawings, a bunch of pictures, an interview with Yost. It's an awesome read, and I love that they included this in the box. Oh, we're just getting started. This time, the remote isn't just a generic one. They actually made it look like the remote that Batman uses to stop the Batmobile in front of him in the movie. So button 1 turns on the headlights, button 2, tail lights, button 3, the instrument cluster inside the cockpit, button 4, the thruster flickering effect, button 5, the turbine around the front that, yes, actually does spin. More on that a little bit later in the video. Number 6, the vapor generator around the back to make it look like smoke's coming out the back. Then 7, 8, 9, 10, they're all sound effects. This is what 7 sounds like. Unfortunately, 8, 9, and 10, they all feature either voice clips from the movie or some bits of the soundtrack, so to save from getting a copyright strike, I'm not actually able to let you hear them. You'll just have to play around with the remote and experience them for yourself, I guess. The Bat Turntable. This is a mainstay for the Keaton Batmobile. In the movie, it would just pop out the bottom, but in 1/6 scale, it's foam padded. You lift up the car, there's a key on the underside, this slots in place really nice and securely. But the best part about it is it's extremely heavy duty, and it needs to be because this Batmobile is heavy. Like, extremely heavy. You can feel the quality of this piece in hand when you try and lift it to pop the turntable underneath. It moves effortlessly on the turntable. If you have the room to display this thing so that you can rotate it round, Why the hell not? You'll be able to spin this and check it out from every angle. This thing looks really good all the way around, so being able to do that, yeah, I don't mind if I do. Let's get stuck into some of the features. Number one, the machine guns. Yep, machine guns. Batman did not mess around in the 80s and 90s. To remove that panel, they've included a magnetic tool. Then you simply lift up the guns and they sit in place. There's a charging handle that you can move backwards and forwards. You can open up the top area and expose the rubbery bullet belt. And the entire thing's been painted in gunmetal with a silver dry brush over the top. When you place the panel back on, it sits completely flush. So the shin breakers, another Burton era Batmobile mainstay. You remove the panel with the same magnetic tool. Then you plug the wings in, and there's some detail around the front. They genuinely do look like Batmobile wings. But as we all know, in the movie, they're meant to be used to smack into people's shins. You have to install these little metal chains, they are real metal, on the side greebly detail sections of the car. JazzInc have a video on how to do that, but you can use the included metal tweezers to help you install those. It's a bit fiddly, but it's not the trickiest thing in the world to do. Plus, once they're on there, the magnets are strong enough, I don't think they're going anywhere. The grappling hooks, next up, you flip open the panel, then you can slot the grappling hook in all the way and close it up. To get the grappling hook out again, because it goes in fully, I would suggest grabbing yourself some tweezers like the ones from my figure first aid kit, then you'll be able to grab that out a little bit more easily. The gas can caps, they can open, they're not functional, you can't put gas in there, but they're made of die cast. Then you can pop open these side panels using your fingernail and install the two real metal bat discs inside of that compartment on either side. It's a bit fiddly to open it up. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty self-explanatory, but at least you've now seen me do it. Around the back, you can take off the trunk lid and maybe pop some of Batman's accessories inside of there if you so choose. This lid also comes off, it's screwed in place out of the box, but I've left it undone just to make my life a little bit easier doing this on camera. Remove the rubbery stopper, grab the syringe just with some water in it, no specialized liquids required, fill up the vapor chamber, and now you can use the smoke effect. This, for me, is hands down worth the price of admission alone. I don't know about y'all, but seeing the lights flickering inside the jet engine and the tail lights on, and smoke, or in this instance, vapor, billowing out of that jet engine, I don't think I've seen anything doper than this in a while. There is a cap cover if you don't want to use the vapor effect, you can put that on, then it looks like a completed jet engine. But if you do want to use it, this is what it looks like, and it spits out a lot of vapor. It genuinely looks like it's smoking. Going forward, I want to see this more often with your Batmobiles, JazzInc, wherever possible, of course. These little wheel logos, they're made of die cast and they attach magnetically. If you struggle to have them stay on, they're apparently going to include some 3M tape just to back them up because the wheels can rotate and they can angle left and right. So to save from them falling off while you're doing this, maybe do go ahead and use the 3M tape. I don't know if this is just a byproduct of how this has been assembled, but if you push the wheel in all the way, they actually lock in place. And if you want to rotate them, you can pull them out, they rotate very freely. We do have some markings on the outer wall of the tires. They're made of a softer, squishy rubber, but they're not too soft. I don't think they're going to deform over time. And they're massive. They're thick and sturdy and bulky. Okay, now it's time to focus our attention on the inside of the Batmobile. To open up the canopy, it couldn't be easier. You grab it, you lift it up slightly, and you slide it forward. I tried to film this. Trust me, I did. But it was really fiddly getting around the tripod and the dolly because this is not a picture sliding left and right. The camera is actually moving. So I was bumping the camera. It looked ridiculous. You can remove the cockpit if you so choose, and while you don't have to do it, it does make installing the steering wheel and Batman inside of the car a hell of a lot easier if you do decide to do it. Oh, and the steering wheel is made of real die-cast metal. You can also actuate the levers on the right-hand side where Batman would be controlling the thruster. The wheel does turn left and right, but it doesn't move the wheels. It's for aesthetics only, and you know what? I get that, because on a vehicle as big as this is, trying to connect a steering column up, probably not the most practical idea. Something would have broken because of stresses of the weight of the vehicle. When you hit number 3 on the remote, the screens light up, the dials, all of the little LEDs in multiple different colors. Oh, and getting the camera inside the cockpit to get a shot like this, not easy. So I hope you'll enjoy seeing this point of view from inside the car, because it's not very often that you'll, or probably ever, now that I think about it, that you'll get to see the car like this. The seats are made of rubbery plastic with some leather grain texture sculpted on the surface. Overall, so far, yeah, I'm enamored with this thing. The only complaint I have, and yes, there is a complaint, this is a review after all, is the weight. I get it. More diecast means a heavier vehicle, because underneath all of the little reveal sections for the grills, that's diecast metal. But some people are going to struggle to display this on like a glass shelf, for example, just because of the weight factor. Not a deal breaker for me. Some of y'all may even see it as a pro, now that I think about it. Because I have heard the age-old saying, heavy means quality, so if that's you, awesome. For a quick side-by-side comparison, I wanted to pop my DX09 or the new Batman inside of this thing. And you can do that. However, the suits are so fragile, man. I did not want to ruin my figures trying to do that. I am more than happy to display my Batman, my Keaton figures, standing alongside the Batmobile rather than inside of it. Plus, JazzInc is working on a pre-posed static Batman, call it a 1/6 scale statue of sorts, that will literally just sit inside of the car pre-posed to look like he's driving it. That way you don't have to stress out the outfits on your Batman figures. So when that comes in, that thing is going right inside this car and it's never going to leave it. Both Batman figures look fantastic standing alongside of it, and you can see how enormous this piece is. It dwarfs 1/6 scale figures. The silhouette of it, how long it is, how sleek it looks, I don't want to stop shooting, especially this angle. And I know I've already said I don't want to stop shooting it, and I hate to repeat myself. Seriously, it is that impressive to look at. This thing is a beast. So at the end of this, I cannot recommend this Batmobile enough. Coming from someone who's owned the Hot Toys one, and I have the new version on the way, this destroys it because of the diecast content, the sound effects, the smoke generator, the rotating turbine, the accuracy. They've even gone so far as to sculpt the accurate Honda Accord light details, because those are the lights they used on the real car, onto the surface of the lenses for this Batmobile. If that doesn't scream attention to detail, I don't know what does. Overall, as a package, this is the shit. Like, it's a complete 1/6 scale dream version of the '89 Batmobile for me. If you want to grab this, get on the wait list, because once these things are gone, you just aren't able to find them on the aftermarket. I've popped a link to JazzInc's website in the description below. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.